Our meal prep service is worth it. Now, I can't lie, some meal prep companies make some delicious food. They already have it portioned out for you. It gives you a wide variety. I'm not arguing that standpoint of it. I'm more or less talking, are they worth it as far as a cost versus convenience approach? So is it worth spending the money on meals you could be making at home? Can I answer that question for you? I cannot. I can just give you some rough information that you could take into account when choosing whether you want to go with a meal prep service or whether you want to make your meals at home. So I've used some rough numbers, collected some data, because that's how I roll. And the average cost of a meal, now granted, if you buy in bigger bulks, there may be a cheaper price, to the meals, but that's a big bulk of them. Some high, some low, but on average, what I found is the average meal from a meal prep service is about $7. Then I went ahead and took a look at some of the meals they were preparing and did a little cost analysis. Because you're buying in bulk when you shop on your own, the average meal, I would say, to create at home would be about $2. So pretty much on average, when you're buying a meal at a meal prep service, you can more or less create that same meal for about $2 at home. And like I said, some companies, when you buy in bulk, you do get a bit of a cheaper price, but I'm finding this is the average price of a meal that I'm finding, and this is pretty much the average cost of a meal of making it at home. So it's a $7 cost versus a $2 cost. Now, let's say you're going with that meal prep service 7 days a week because they are convenient, and you're doing 3 meals a day, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. This isn't taking into account the other food you have to buy at the grocery store, just talking meals. So, I'm pretty much guessing everybody's snacking or having a fourth meal or something like that. So this is not counting any of that, just strictly the meals, okay? So that's $7 minus 2 obviously is 5. You're doing that 3 times a day, that's $15 a day you're spending on prepaid meals. You're doing that 7 days a week, that takes you about $105 a week you're spending on pre-made meals, so 3 meals a day, the breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You're doing that for a month. That's gonna take you to about $420. So roughly, someone would be spending $420 a month on prepared meals. Again, if you can afford it, then do it. If you enjoy it, then do it. This is just the rough cost of what it'll actually cost you to do that. We're all trying to be fit. The majority of us ain't rich, and we have to be aware of where we're spending our money, trying to create a fitness lifestyle. And again, I'm just providing data. So 7 days a week, 3 meals a day, it's gonna run you about $420 a month. Now, people will say, well, the convenience of meal prep, I walk in and I grab. It takes me probably 3 hours a week to prepare meals. Now, with all the tools you have available at this day and age, such as rice cookers and crock pots and air fryers and all those other things, it really speeds up the meal prep process. I can throw chicken breast in a crock pot, shred it, and I can make multiple things from pizzas to tacos to just chicken and brown rice if I wanted. The chicken's already made, I can bake it. I'm not counting the baking time because I'm going and doing other things while it's baking. So I don't count that. The rice cooker, 10, 12 minutes to cook rice, that's not a long time. And that gives you plenty of time to weigh out and create multiple meals. You can get your snacks ready. So I would say meal prep time from back in the day to now has definitely sped up tremendously due to the items that we have available to us. And we can get very creative, and it still doesn't take a crazy amount of time to do that. So it roughly takes me about 3 hours a week to meal prep. And if you look at the cost, 3 hours, 4 weeks, that's 12 hours a week. So if you broke it down, per hour you'd be spending meal prepping, think of it as a $35 an hour savings. So you're saving $420 a month just by meal prepping at home. Yes, there is a prep factor to it. Yes, there is a way out and meal creation to it. But one thing I think is very important is what's in each meal. You know that meal was portioned out right, and it fits your meal plan. Also, whether you're going to a meal prep service or making foods at home, the most important factor is to understand where you are calorically and what your goals are. If you know where you are calorically and you want to lose weight, you can take a 5% deficit on that overall caloric intake and make sure you're being consistent with your tracking and weighing yourself in, taking the averages, making sure you're seeing a change, and you can take it from there. It's the only issue I have with people using meal prep services, not the meal prep service themselves, are people walking in blindly and going, I'm gonna eat these 3 meals and be healthy. No, because if that meal prep service is closed down, you're on your own. So Just make sure you understand where you need to be calorically. Utilize them correctly. Now, do I use a meal prep service? Yes, I treat meal prep services kind of like my treat or going out to eat or in a bind or break last in case of emergency type thing. Do I like to go to certain meal prep services and grab some snacks? Absolutely. But do I also monitor how much money I'm spending at meal prep services like everything else in my life? Absolutely. I just don't want to get in that habit where I'm spending money in places where I can clearly save at home by making it on my own. So, are meal prep services worth it? Cost versus convenience? I don't know. That's a question you have to answer yourself. I've given you some data to go off of. I'm not knocking. I do use them myself, but I'm just aware of how much I'm using them, and only you can really make that decision. Again, we're just trying to save some money, living this fitness lifestyle, trying to live that healthy life. Hopefully this video helped you guys out. If you want to get a hold of me, genesisptny@gmail.com. Please click the subscribe button, give the video a like. Also, give me some feedback on what meal prep companies you like using. I'll talk to you guys soon.